What's going on, internet? It is your boy Eric Bandholz back again with another awesome episode from Beardbrand. Today I'm going to show you how to get the Chris Hemsworth look, also known as Thor. Now before we begin, it would mean a ton to me if you could just give a quick thumbs up if you like these kind of tutorial videos. Just right down there, somewhere down there. Give it a quick thumbs up. We'll get this party rolling. Now, with this tutorial, a little heads up. I washed my hair this morning and applied some conditioner. So this is kind of how it looks after I've washed it, conditioned it. The tools that I want to use for this, I want to use a little bit of claymation from Hans de Foco. I'm going to use a little bit of fellow barber, some texture paste here. I think I may use a comb. I may not, it's kind of optional. And I am going to use a hair dryer. And I want to use a hair dryer with a condenser on it. And a couple other things that I have here is a mirror. Look at your beautiful selves. You guys are stunning. And I may use a boar's hairbrush. I may not. But I always like to work on my hair when it's damp. So let me go get it damp. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I got my hair wet. And with any hairstyle, when you're trying to match something out there that you like, it's important to get the cut right. Now, my cut is probably about 80 to 90% there. The one thing that's different with my hair and Chris's hair is that his in the back goes down a little bit further. So I've been growing mine out from the fade. So the sides in the back aren't really as long as my top. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be the closest I can get until I can really grow my hair out, get it cut. So Chris has a widow's peak. I don't know if you guys noticed this. And what he likes to do to kind of mitigate that is give a very high, I'd say either off center part or a very high side part. So what he's doing is he's coming in. Here's my center point, right? Normal center part haircut. It's just right down the middle like that. So because he's got that widow's peak, looks like he's avoiding doing that. So he does this really cool thing to kind of get a similar look to the center part. Is what he's doing is he's coming off center, but he's not going straight back. He's going at an angle. And then what he does as he goes from the beginning of the part back is he pretty much will stop right about there, and then the rest of it he's pulling back. So if you're gonna want to imitate this look, you've got to keep that in mind. Now, styling products are there just to kind of help things stay in place, help your part get set. The reason I have two is I kind of like to mix and match them. And that's the thing with styling products is you can kind of, depending on your hair texture, play around with them, mix them together, have fun with them. My words of advice with hair products is always start with smaller amounts, and then you can always add more, but you just don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to start with this claymation, which is a matte kind of high hold finish. And I'm going to work it together with some fellow barber. And I'm doing about 50 parts fellow barber, 50 parts claymation. So you can see that. Get in there and focus. You can see that half the fellow barber, half the claymation. And I like this because claymation can be a very grabby type of product. And fellow barber is very smooth and can at times get, for my hair, a little bit greasy. So when I mix them together, it kind of gives me a good balance in the middle. So I just work it together, heat it up, get it going. With this claymation product, you really want to get it nice, worked up. And you'll see in my hands right now, can you see that? That really, you don't see anything on there. So I've worked it all the way up, but it's definitely sticky. From there, I always like to start from the back and kind of move forward. That way you don't get a giant clump of product right in the front where everyone can see it. So let's begin. And for me, what I found is with longer hair, kind of got to be a little more gentle with it. You know, when I had shorter hair, I could just really go at it and really get in there. But with longer hair, I found that you just kind of got to be a little more delicate. You know, it's a little more just kind of grabbing. You can't really force your fingers through your hair. So it's just working it in. And what the product's going to help you do is it's going to help give some volume to your hair. Again, it's going to help set your part. And I keep on talking about setting the part. So when I said you need a comb, I was looking through Chris's photos and it looked like some of his parts were almost natural. So it was almost like a natural thing that he's developed over time where it just kind of fell that way. It wasn't a very hard, a very clean part. But to train your hair, you're going to need to use a comb. And what I like to do is set it in place with the hairdryer. So with the comb, brush it all back into line. Try to be gentle with your long hair. You know, it's you don't want to force the comb through here. We want to go a little more dramatic. Like we want to do this definitely like at an angle, which is kind of not very natural for the hair. So it's really going to be important to find that part. There we go. This is kind of like it. So, all right, I want to show you. Can you guys see that part? And now that I've found my part, what I'm going to do is set it in place. So, speed low, heat medium. Let's begin. For the areas that aren't as delicate as your part, you can put it on a higher speed to make the hair dry and go a little bit quicker. So now that it's mostly dry, I kind of want to show you what it means that I've set the part. I've kind of dried it in place, but what happens is if I kind of shake my head, it's going to fall right back down to the part that I created. So that's what's going to help when you use a little bit of product and you use a little bit of the dryer, the hair dryer, to kind of lock everything in place. From there, my hair is still slightly damp, and this is kind of how I like to leave it before I go out. And I kind of like the last part to air dry. So I've given my hair a little bit of time to air dry, and this is pretty much the final look for it. I've got it tucked behind my ears, couple of stray hairs coming out, giving it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of texture. Going to give you the full 360 rundown so you can take a good look at it. And of course the part. And there you have it. Now you'll be looking like Thor. If you guys like this, please comment it. Please share it. It means the world to me. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Cheers. And beard on.